So let's talk about Scotland's Six Nations. It's so close yet so far once again for them. Seems to sum up what Scotland's all about at the moment. Lots of potential to be amazing, but not quite getting the consistency. So welcome to this video supported by Lifting Giants, and Scotland, they're going to be disappointed with 4th place. They've never won the Six Nations as we know. We know they've got a good team, but it's fair to say this team's not going to last forever. And what's coming up behind? Well, in the Scottish system, we know it's not the best. We're looking at the under-20s this year in their Six Nations, not a single win. And if you look back 4 years, they've only won once in the Six Nations under-20s. That's a 95% losing ratio, if you like. So from the Scottish system, it's not looking great. Can they get Scottish qualified players that come through other systems? Maybe, but it's not a good long-term strategy, I don't think so. I think they need to make the most of these players they have right now, and they didn't quite do it. But it was close. Talking of close, that first game, what a thriller. A game of two halves, to say the least. Wales 26, Scotland 27. Scotland, they're all over Wales in that first half. We had Rowe at fullback, the makeshift fullback, but he was really dangerous. Wales go for an aimless kicking game to start with, and Scotland, they just run rampant. At 12, Tuipulotu is the danger man. He is so good. Van der Merwe, powerful finishes as he did all Six Nations. And they were 0-27 up just after half-time and cruising. But then when Wales turned on the energy, they brought the power, they brought some ruck speed, Scotland simply melted, and it is worrying. The Scottish scrum started to struggle as well. They couldn't slow down the ruck ball, and the pressure mounted up and up. They gave away penalties, and they nearly lost the thing. They held on in the end, but it was a big worry. Then they go on to France, and again, this one really hurt. It's another so close yet so far game, because France were wobbly at the beginning of that Six Nations. They were there for the taking a little bit. Scotland tried to punish them. Another fullback, ex-Sevens player, Harry Patterson, made his debut. He was really good. And France struggled to deal with Scotland's kicking game. Finn Russell, some really nice kicks. Although that Dupont law did break out with the kick tennis at times, but that's a video for another day. Tuipulotu, once again a standout attacker, but Scotland did concede some ruck turnovers and France scored from this. The scrum conceded crucial penalties like the Wales game. Biel Barry came up with a bit of magic combined with Le Garrec with a chip and chase, and Scotland didn't cover well enough. And then an on-field decision at the end was a no try. Really, really tough, because I think if the ref had given the try, the TMO wouldn't have overruled it. And the same, because the ref didn't give the try, the TMO decides he can't overrule it. So another close one there, and Scotland coming out on the wrong side this time, 16-20. And a word for our sponsor of these Six Nations videos, Lifting Giants. They've actually created line-out lifting blocks that fit your hand, that are better than the traditional straight lifting blocks. If you want to get hold of a pair, it's the last weekend for 20% off using the code RugbyAnalyst20 and the links in the description below. Then on to a good hunting ground, England. Scotland have such a great record against England, and once again they take the Calcutta Cup with the best performance of the Six Nations for them, 30-21. After England's opening score, their attack fell to pieces and Scotland tore them to shreds and tore that blitz defence to shreds, and Van der Merwe bagged a hat-trick. He is still a massive asset to Scotland, and he's got plenty of years left in him. What power, what pace. Cameron Redpath came on for Tuipulotu, who unfortunately missed the rest of the Six Nations, but Cameron Redpath has definitely made a bit of a statement. I think he's definitely bulked up. He looks a serious contender for 12, which is good. Then on to Italy, and it all goes wrong. So close yet so far once again. It was a great game to watch for a neutral, but Scotland on the wrong side of it. They had a decent first half, but left a huge gap in their backfield for Italy to chip in behind and score far too easily. Schoeman blocks a runner, so there's a try ruled out for Scotland there as well, and Scotland are shooting themselves in the foot, and again the defensive line is chipped over for Liner to score. And the question is, Scotland, they play super fast, we know, but they can't seem to slow it down when things are going wrong. Italy, by contrast, were happy to slow it down at times and play the territory game. When they didn't have the momentum, they tried to build back into it. Scotland, can they do it? That is a big question I've asked before. Then on to Ireland, and it looked quite close on the scoreboard, 17-13, but I think Ireland were very good winners here. Scotland, however, did defend incredibly well. That is a big positive. Andy Christie was a man on a mission. He's a big find there, really stepped up. But you do need an attack in order to win, and Scotland couldn't put sustained pressure onto that Irish line, and they were well beaten, I would say. So once again, a disappointing Six Nations for Scotland. They did get close at times, but couldn't crucially get those wins. Their depth is a bit limited, so can you make many changes to this Scottish team? I don't know. Well, Darcy Graham's coming back in. Staines a solid winger, but Graham adds that pace and the footwork. Andy Christie could be making a case for starting in the back row. But in general, I don't think there's a lot more that you could do. But the really painful thing for Scotland is they're actually not too far away, but they still can't get it done. They were very close to a win against France. If they'd beaten Italy, they'd be going into that final game playing for a Grand Slam. So close yet so far for Scotland. Let me know what you think below. But it can't just be bad luck because they keep on doing it. Pop those comments down there and I'll catch you next time.